What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, Episode 6. I am Alex, and here we are yet again, another Saturday. Welcome in. Thank you all for being here. This is going to be somewhat similar, I would say, to what we did last week, where it's a lot of the discussion here is just going to kind of be me kind of talking about what the week's been, what the future's been, just kind of, update people and talk about a couple topics, I think, along the way. So, as we always do, what have I been watching? What have I been playing? Well, in terms of what I've been watching, actually, it's maybe more filled than ever before. So, during the day, what I've been watching is the Johnny Depp trial. That's pretty much it. For around seven hours each day, I sit and I make as many videos as possible during the morning recess, the lunch break, and the afternoon recess. I as soon as that happens, I just start talking immediately into the microphone, and I just try to get everything. And while the court's happening, I'm thinking of all these ideas. Maybe people don't care, but just I thought a funny play on what have I been watching. I think it's not a movie, it's not a TV show. Maybe it should be a documentary at some point in Johnny Depp's remaining life, but it is definitely entertainment to some degree. So I've been watching that every single day, and then in my off time, I watched Better Call Saul episodes 1 and 2. I did a review on that on Tuesday morning, I believe, on this channel. Loved it to death. So happy it's back. Caught up. I think we mentioned this last week. I caught up last Friday, so not yesterday, but the one before, and I watched like the last 5 episodes of season 5. So I was ready because I never had watched them. I knew what happened, but I never watched them. And then watched season 6, episodes 1 and 2. Perfect. I mean, it's grade A television. Truly, I don't watch television, but it's grade A television. And then what else? Halo. Continue to watch Halo. This week was better. Not everybody. What's funny is the one week, I maybe give them a little. I give them a little rope and say, all right, I'll follow you. I won't even dock too much on the worst parts of the show, although I did go at them for the worst parts of the show. But even when I do that, and I say that I like the show, suddenly all the people that were so hating me for hating the show, none of them showed up, for the review. Instead, people were telling me, well, yeah, the fight was cool at the end, but overall the episode kind of did suck and it was boring. And it's like, wow, even when I try to be nice, the people that were, telling me you should be nice, you're being too hard on it, all this, you don't get it, those kind of people, they disappeared. So I don't know what. That's how YouTube. I've said that before. The funny thing with YouTube, tangent time. The funny thing with YouTube, when it comes to really games, move, like anything, at least in the entertainment world, I have found, because I've had experience in it, I can make multiple videos, okay, being like, say, anti something, right? Like I have a problem with the game or the movie, leading into it, or whatever, and it'll do like overwhelmingly well, right? Like the likes, dislikes, like the people that watch it overwhelmingly like side with me and they agree. But there'll be those people that say, again, you don't get it, or you're being too hard and all that stuff. And then when you say something good about the same thing, when it's the same topic, different angle, YouTube, I truly believe this is YouTube's fault. And I guess I do understand it in a way, right? Because they're looking for the people that will click on it, and maybe that is a different group. So I believe they will show it to a different group of people, and all of a sudden it'll be the opposite. So I've built up a group, or I've had these videos talking negatively, and there's people that agree with that, right? They're like on that side, and then I say the same topic, but I'm positive on it now. It'll be a literal different group of people that will say, again, you don't know what you're talking about, you're being too nice to it, like it's actually bad. You'll get the opposite group. So it's like I've been around a while. I've noticed that. It's weird. I kind of laugh at it. Like every time it happens, I'll message like Jay, Degenerate Jay. I'll say it to somebody where if it happens on a big scale, where it's just funny, where it's like they're not even the same group, and like neither of the groups seem to watch the opposite. So what I mean? So Halo, I can be negative towards it. I will get a lot of people, and then I'll get a couple people that have problems with it, and then I'll make a good one, something talking about it good, and then I'll get people saying that it's actually bad. And sometimes it's the same people, but sometimes it's different people. So I just found that pretty funny. Tangent mode over. So I watched Halo. Besides that, well, again, the Johnny Depp trial, I think that's it. I watched Moon Knight 1 through 3. I didn't watch 4 yet, episode 4. I should. I probably will watch it over the weekend. I believe today, possibly, I'm going to be seeing The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with the one, the only Nicolas Cage. Not Well, I wish I could see it with him. Like, he's going with me. That'd be cool. But I'm seeing it by myself. And he will be in the movie with Pedro Pascal. So if I do see it, I'm planning on doing a review tomorrow. So tomorrow I should have a review on the movie on this channel. So you can check that out there. So I'm excited. My God, I'm super pumped for that. In terms of what I've been playing, I think I have split it, not fairly, in a good way. I've played a lot of Elden Ring, a ton. I'm now over, I think I'm at 41. I think I was at 40 hours, 58 minutes. So can we be nice and round up? And I may play it tonight when I'm recording this, so I may have even more hours. So 41 hours. I wouldn't say I'm running out of things to do. I'm running out of ideas, or because the game obviously just lets you kind of go around, and I'm not very good at games that don't give you any direction. And Elden Ring, I guess, gives you a little, but truly, let's be real, it doesn't. You know, you just kind of go out there. To continue, like, the main story and all that stuff, I don't even know where to go. I don't know who to battle. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what items to get. Like, none of that. I've really been following my friend that's been helping me, like, the entire time. So, especially on my own, I'd have no clue how to do it. But not to discount, I'm still having a ton of fun. It's still one of the best games that has come out this year. It's overwhelming, like, easily the best From Software game I've ever played. In terms of accessibility, but also it is a From Software game. It is incredibly difficult, but the fact that I, Alex of Podcast Now and Podcast Now Plus, have made it 41 hours. I haven't played every other From Software game combined for 41 hours. Not even close, most likely. So that's, to me, that says something. Even in the moment when I'm playing, and maybe I'm dying or maybe, whatever, even in that moment, if I'm not having a 10 out of 10 experience, when I step away from it, or like the next day, say like right now, right? When I think about it, I say, well, there has to be something special about it because you're continuing to play it. You want to play it. You've put in 41 hours. That's not like you, or it's not specifically, it's not like you with a From Software game. So, you know what I mean? So that takes a very powerful thing. So in playing that, think I played Rocket League like one time. Oh, and I did a review on the main channel. I played completely and finished and beat Star Wars: The Force Unleashed on the Nintendo Switch. They gave me the code. Obviously, I did the review on the main channel for that. Beat it in 2 days. I just like straightforward, straight ahead. I think I played. It didn't take me. It took me like 6.5 hours. The how long to beat time was 8. I don't remember how long it took me to beat it originally, and I found half of the holocrons. Like, I did, a decent amount of stuff in that game. I think it took me 6.5 hours. The how long to beat time was like 8, so I think I did do it faster than I was supposed to, quote unquote. But that game, what's interesting, let me just say this. Couple things. Number one, it is just a port, and it's not a great port. The Switch, I do believe, from what people have told me, the Switch is capable of doing more. It's just they didn't try, from what I have been told. That's very disappointing, because when I was playing the game, again, on the Switch, like when you're walking around with it, or you're traveling with it, it actually looks pretty good, decently good. When you're docked and you're playing it and everything's stretched, everything's on the big screen, so to speak, right? It did not look good. In the game, gameplay wise, it looked fine. Some cutscenes looked okay. Darth Vader looked good, but a lot of it didn't look good. And I was like, is this how bad it actually looked? I thought that. And I looked it up on my phone, not even on my computer. And I saw a walkthrough, I think on PC. Now, it was probably with like graphics max, but I also think even on PS3 and, the older gen consoles, the game does look substantially better. Because it's also, I didn't know what year, I forgot what year, 2008. And because of my biasness, every game I play, in terms of remembering time and the graphical limitations, but also how far companies were pushing it, I always reference Uncharted. That it's a biasness, it's my biasness, I don't care. So when I think 2008, I think 1 year after Uncharted 1 and 1 year before Uncharted 2. So that's how always so if I hear a game is 2011, I think Uncharted 3, or 2010, 1 year before, stuff like that. That's just how I've done it. And I think it holds pretty well. My scale is pretty okay. So 2008, I was like, well, is this really how it would have looked? And the answer was not really. Like, it did look better than this. With that being said, Still a good game. I still enjoyed it. If you want to play it on the go, there's no other way of doing it than the Switch. So you know what I mean? This isn't, by the way, like a second review. This is just me talking about my life and talking about what I've done. What I will say, though, too, is visuals aside, okay? Because visuals, you know, you're playing on the Switch, and then maybe you remember back to the visuals being better. This is controversial. There are moments in this game that hold up remarkably well. 14 years later, it holds up. There's also a lot of moments in this game that I thought were way better than they actually were. The story moves at the speed of light. Every voice dialogue between any character always feels like it gets cut off. Like they talk, and it sounds like they're always rushing in terms of their voice pattern, in terms of the sentence and their dialogue going to whoever they're talking to. So one person's talking to the other. The one person says a sentence. It's way too rushed. It sounds like they're just trying to get through it. And then the other person talks. They sound fast, too rushed. And the time in between one person and the other person talking does not exist. There is no time in between. So one person talks, then like that. The one person talks, then the next person talks. And it's horrible. And the story is good. I remember it in the moment being better. I still think it holds up. I like the general idea of like an apprentice and Darth Vader tricking him over and over and over again. It's also a very short game. I remembered it, but I didn't. The game really is 5 levels, maybe 6. You go to the same worlds over and over. And again, am I going to blame 2008? We're talking 14 years ago. I'd have to go back. You'd have to go back and look at the other games that came out in 2008, 2007, even 6, maybe 9, right? Kind of for like a reference. Like, it still holds up generally. It is one of the most innovative Star Wars games I do think ever created. And this could be controversial, overall, I don't think the game holds up all that well, or at least as well as I thought, because I've always had very nice things to say, specifically about 1. I remember loving 2, but knowing the story behind how rushed it was and some of the story decisions of 2 weren't that great, right? But at this point, and I said this to myself when playing Force Unleashed, I almost want to play 2, and I don't know how I would do that. I don't know if it's on PlayStation Now or is it on? Can you play it on Xbox? Maybe maybe I'll figure it out. I want to play 2, and I want to compare them now, and I want maybe make a video because I think that would kind of be a cool video. Because this is controversial. I almost feel like 2 would be better, even with the flaws, even with it also being rushed and being very, very short. The graphics, the gameplay, I feel like the second game was better, although I really, maybe that's a story I told myself, you know what I mean? So I wonder. So I want to, maybe over the next couple of weeks, I'll play 2, I'll figure out how, if you guys know, let me know. I'll figure out how to play 2, and then maybe I'll do like a comparison video on one of the channels, kind of almost like it is a controversial thing if I do think 2 is better, because I think overwhelmingly people like the first game more. I like the first game. I don't know, though. I really don't know. So, and again, but it was years after and all that stuff, and, we'll see. So, that's what I have been playing. That's what I've been watching. One final thing I want to talk about, and maybe the Star Wars Force Unleashed thing was kind of the main topic, but now this can be. I want to talk about just in terms of no news, no nothing. This has been, and I know I mentioned this last week, too. It's been so odd. So strange how it's just so dead. I think back to last year, and last year we had Resident Evil Village, I think was early May. Returnal was at the very end of April. So I know we had, just with those 2 games alone, and I think Mass Effect Legendary Edition was also May. Oh, God, having to think about, I can't remember as well nowadays, but I know there were big games that came out. Even if there weren't a lot of big games, but It Takes Two, was that March? I think they could have been March. I guess what I'm trying to say, last year in April and in May, we had really big things that came out, and they were kind of scattered. But I also just feel like there was more news, there was more leaks, Again, it's a me problem. Yet again, this is my channel on my video on my podcast. So I, I get to talk about me problems. And I think not just affecting me, but I think it affects kind of everybody in terms of how fun, everybody's experience being around the gaming industry is. It's been so dead this entire month, excluding Lego Star Wars. Besides Lego Star Wars, which was the 4th, somewhere, hopefully early April, right? Besides that, there's been nothing this entire, not just in terms of games, but in terms of any kind of news. And it's also, it was more than just April too. Like March, I know I had complaints about the lack of news in March. I think even February was kind of dead in terms of news. I just feel like maybe I'm trying to stack it up in my head. Maybe I have bad expectations. Those are all fair. Again, these are just my kind of thoughts brought to you. But I just feel like it's been so quiet that I don't understand it. I don't get how quiet it's been. And I'm not worried. But I guess also in terms of like, again, more of like the behind the scenes stuff with content, like I am branching out, and I think I am doing very, very different things. I'm trying to find news stories and things that aren't like labeled news, you know what I mean? So I try to find ways around it. I've been on this channel specifically, reviewing shows and stuff that I would never, I've said it before, right? When I reviewed Mandalorian on the main channel, it did horrible. Now the Better Call Saul review here didn't do very good, but it was, I'm very passionate about it, and I think maybe it could do well. If I do it every single week, maybe I'll build some sort of group, or YouTube will start recommending it to the right people. Like, I think that's very possible. So, not that every video works, but I'm trying to find kind of ways around it. And again, from like a personal perspective, it leads me to doing other things. I've gotten worried about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff because I know that's so out of the wheelhouse for what I normally do. Yet again, it really isn't, because I've talked about Johnny Depp for many, many years on that channel. The whole Justice for Johnny Depp idea and Pirates of the Caribbean I've talked a lot about. And I've only gotten, and I'm happy with this, I really am, I've only gotten one comment on the main channel talking about like, oh, I subscribe to you for gaming news, not celebrity stuff. Like, why are you doing that? I was thinking I would get more of that, and I was worried about it, but ultimately I'm pretty happy. Number one, I don't agree. Like, I thought I was going to get that, even though I know that it's not really, I don't really deserve that kind of stuff, because it's like, well, I make one video on him and her a day, and then the other 2, maybe 3 videos are still games or movies. So it's like, if you came for gaming news, you must be ignoring the gaming news videos, because I make at least 1 to 2 gaming news or something gaming related, at least 1 to 2 a day on the main channel. And then also maybe here every, you know what I mean? So it just depends on the day. So while I don't think I hate that argument, I hate the people that say those kind of things. I think it's just so stupid. I was still expecting it just because of the way I think the internet is. But I guess what I'm saying here is the lack of news has also, also from my perspective, I'm very passionate about it. I'm putting in the hours. I've watched like I've put in over 50 hours now watching this trial live. Is it work? I think it kind of is. I'm taking in a lot of info. A lot of people are taking in a lot of info, and then I'm turning it into videos. So I am working, and the videos are doing quite well. I'm getting people that want to watch those videos. And on the other side of things, there's nothing else to talk for the most part. You know what I mean? Again, I think I've done some pretty creative stuff over the last couple months out of almost need. I guess I don't need to, because I could just do less videos a day, and therefore I'd have more ideas, or the ideas I had would spread out more across the week. But I want to provide, because I don't also want those kind of comments where it's like, if I did just do a Johnny Depp video and then one other video a day, if you don't like that other video, maybe there's a bigger argument to make for, well, you're only why are you covering celebrity stuff? You're gaming stuff, stuff like that. So I didn't want that, and I think having more than 2 videos a day, gets me that. Again, one final thing. The reason why I also never buy that argument is, like, even when Scream came out, I would do a Scream video maybe every day, but I'd always have at least 2 other videos that weren't Scream. So again, the people saying, well, why are you having all this Scream content? I come to you for gaming. Well, there is gaming, so you're just ignoring it, and you're only so I never take those comments like, I laugh at them. Sometimes they upset me to my core if there's enough of them or they say the right mean thing, but I never take them too seriously because I don't agree. Those are people that just don't pay attention, I guess. So I don't really want them. I've said this before. I don't want those people on the channel. The people that ignore 66% of the videos every single day and then criticize you on the one because you claim to be the other, but then they don't watch the other. Like, why would I want those people around anyway? I don't. So please leave. So, that's kind of my mindset. And as I've gotten older and as I've been on YouTube longer, that is the mindset I've developed more. So pretty much it. Pretty much all I want to talk about. Again, no maybe central topic, just a couple different things. Venting, talking about different stuff. So we'll see what happens next week. It may be like this for a couple of weeks, but I really do appreciate all you guys watching. It means a lot. It's fun to just kind of be able to vent and talk. And if there's 100 people that watch it, hey, that's 100 people that care in some way. And that's awesome. Jesus, I used to do videos like this venting for like 5 people, and I guess it matters, right? And so it matters now too. So thank you guys for watching. Every Saturday, a new episode. Every day, obviously, a new video in general. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be the Nick Cage movie review, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty much all I got for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.